A few days before Christmas of 1992, President Clinton's been elected, and I was at home packing, getting ready with my family to go to California, and I got a call from Warren Christopher, who was handling the transition on the national security side. And he said, Jim, do you suppose you could come to Little Rock and talk to the president-elect about the CIA job? I had met Bill Clinton at a dinner party in Georgetown a year and a half, 2 years before. So I said, well, Chris, I'm on my way to California with my family for Christmas. Could I come after New Year's, or do we really need to talk about it between Christmas and New Year's? And he said, well, actually, you ought to come today. And I said, today? I was met by a staffer, and she said, we'll come pick you up at 11:30 this evening. So I get picked up, and Madeleine Albright and I are sitting outside his governor's office waiting to see him. It was Clinton Standard Time, so it was after midnight. I was shown in, and it's the only time he and I were ever alone together, one-on-one. And he's from northwestern Arkansas, and I'm from northeastern Oklahoma. And we talked mainly about good places to fish on the Illinois River. We talked about both Arkansas and University of Oklahoma football. It was a delightful conversation. At one point, he said, do you think the CIA director ought to express positions on policy? And I said, the only way he ought to do it is in a handwritten note to you. And he said, I agree with that. I think that's right. Well, I went back to the hotel, and the next morning early I got a call. A staffer called me and said, we're going to pick you up at a little after 12 for a 12:30 press conference. So I called Chris at the campaign headquarters, and I said, Chris, it's 11 o'clock, and I'm told they're going to pick me up in half an hour. Does the president want me to be director of Central Intelligence? And he said, yeah, sure, that's what he wants. And I said, well, you know, he never asked, and I never answered. And I'll never forget, Chris said, well, I tell you what, come on over to the press conference and we'll get it sorted out. I said, you know, Chris, I think I'd like to know before the press conference. He said, oh, okay, well, just a minute. And he went away, and he said, I stuck my head in his office and asked him, and he said, yeah, sure, that's what he wants. And I said, well, okay, I guess.